Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll be dealing with server-side topics. Now, the reason is not far-fetched. If you check the material I sent to your Google Classroom, right, you will discover that I need more emphasis about why we should be, why we are going to be using, why we are going to be starting with server-side topic, right? It's beginner-friendly. It's like you are going to know more about it. Like okay, so from the material, from the PPT I sent, first of all, let me share something on my screen. I was trying to talk about it earlier on, which I wouldn't say is the first thing to do once you are presented with a website and you are to access the website. Now, see everyone, we are moving to the technical aspect of this course. Yeah, Mr. Chuka, I can see your message. I would attend to it later. We're moving to the technical aspect of this course. Now, if at all there's any reason for you to be distracted, it's actually not in this aspect. Because the moment you miss something, you miss it all, right? So it's the technical aspect. It can prove to be difficult. You might at any point maybe not even understand what I'm saying, but just listen attentively, you get everything I'm trying to explain. So let me share my screen and show you one of the first things to do once you are presented with a website is one of the popular things people do, not people do, penetration testers. Now, let's check out one of these websites. Let's look at this data. I'm going to close this one. Good. Now I have this, right? So you can always do this, like I told you before, to view the page source. Now, what is the page source basically? Page source is like a combination of different programming languages, most especially HTML, CSS, but I say most especially HTML, used in giving out what the front page of this web page is going to look like. Like you see this thing that you can see here, all these things that you are seeing here. This is the language representation of it all. So if you peradventure copy this thing and save it, if you load it up in another browser, it's going to bring this thing for you. So when you hear that somebody is doing front end, you know that the person is working towards developing something like this. So those guys that are into front end, you can see. So this is actually their function. So they write codes like this, and once they launch it, you have something like this. Now, what is the essence of this? The essence of this is to if you want to view functionalities of this this website, this web page. Remember what I said, difference between web page and website. You want to view functionalities of this web page, you can actually view the source code. Now, from this source code, you can see different things there. Now, you see any picture, if a picture is actually gotten from somewhere, maybe the picture, anywhere it is gotten from, you always see it here. If you are conversant with HTML programming language, there's something they call like IMG-SRC, that's image source. Image source. Now let's search for source SRC. You can see different. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, good. You can see different sources. You can see their website. If I copy any of them and I load them up, it's going to take me somewhere. I copy any of these things and I load them up, it's going to take me somewhere. Now I still proceed. Now that's that about that. So anything I want to see, I can always like view page source to see. Let me see if there is a password. I'm not sure there will be a password. Nothing should be. You see, it's telling us 0/0, right? Yeah. So basically, from time to time, you are going to learn more about this page source and probably work with it. Yeah, so that's one. Now, another thing to always look at is what? To inspect the element. Inspect what you can see here, to inspect element. So if you click on this inspect, you now have another dialog that will open, which is what you can use to play around. Not play around per se, but you know what I mean by play around. I mean like check different functionalities, different things, what they do, and the likes of them. Yes, please get it clear. The class is actually being recorded, yes. Get it clear. I know I'm moving fast, it's intentional. You can't actually learn a whole lot in 2 hours. It's quite small. Yeah. So just bear with me. And if the video is going to be uploaded most likely on Monday, I would send it to your Google Classroom. You download it from there. And also your resource and materials group, then you can watch it at your own pace and practice everything that I've said. Yeah, so while you are inspecting the element, you can check different things that has to do with the different aspects of this web page. You get the image recorder, the console, the sources. You can remember the previous challenge from the sources was where we continue, right? So that is that about that. So I'll stop sharing my screen for that aspect. Now moving straight to another aspect. Okay, before I even continue, I'll just accept our collect question from just one person. I'll collect question from one person. Anybody with a question? That's what I've said. Anybody with a question? That's what I've said. We're just starting. What I've just said is just like the beginning of the beginning. Oops. 1 minute. I'm coming. Now this stage, my laptop is the one misbehaving. Sorry, please. My laptop is misbehaving. Okay. Okay, good. Let me take question from. You have just three of you. Please make it as fast as possible. Just straight to the point, and we proceed. Question as regard what I've just said. It's not talking. Okay, Mr. Joseph, I didn't call you, Mr. Joseph. Mr. Chiemina, God's will.
Okay, sir. Please, sir, how were you opening the source codes? Those HTML.
Press Control U. Press Control U. You can open it straight away. And if you don't want to use Control U, you can right click. You're going to see down. So view the source or page source or something. Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Akitude Fashino, last question before I proceed. Mr. Akitude Fashino.
If you make correction. Good afternoon. If you make corrections on that page, will he automatically affect that the website?
Okay.
The website. Tamper with any.
Okay. Wait, if you make correction on the source code, will it affect the website?
Yes.
Is that a question?
An authorized person. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Actually, it will not affect. I don't know. I don't know. Mr. Chuka, I don't know if he wants to answer your question. But let me know if he wants to answer your question before I continue. Okay, Mr.
Okay, the answer to that question is it will not affect the global web page, but it will affect your local web page. So that means when you change the comment on the website, if you change anything on the website, it will affect your local view. But somebody else seeing it in the next room or in the next part of the world will not see that change that you made. The change is only a local change.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chuka. Yeah. To be honest with you, one of the reasons why I allowed him to answer, I don't know if he has like, let me say, I don't know his maybe his area of expertise. But one thing about cybersecurity we need to know is that I was trying to explain it before. You see, each person, we have our domain that we are actually very good at, right? So if they ask a question on cryptography, it's possible that Mr. Boniface might not be the best at cryptography. Another person might be the best at cryptography. But then generally, one needs to be like well-grounded. Now, to buttress his response, just like he said, do not change the page globally. If not, then Facebook page, Mr. Stanley can go there and change what you are saying or what everybody is saying, right? Do you get? So it will not change. But for him, maybe you want to do something just within yourself. Some things can be changed and manipulated. So, Mr. Emeka, let me allow you to ask your question. Okay, Mr. Emeka, proceed.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, hello? Yes, I can hear you.
So regarding the question he asked, I think looking at this source code now, I don't think somebody can change anything because you cannot even input anything in the source code. I'm saying, so I don't think you can even change it to your own. You cannot even, because you can't impute anything here now.
Okay.
So I don't see how.
Sorry, continue. I thought you were done. Continue. Mr. Emeka, continue. I thought you were done. Okay, we lost him. He was talking, and I think he was trying to. He was not done yet. Then I had to mute him. I thought he was done. Okay, yeah, like he said, or like we said, or we all agreed that we cannot actually change it globally. Like Facebook login page will remain Facebook login page. If you like change the HTML, the page or the write up for it. If you like change it, it's still like that, right? Like what I was trying to explain, I think Mr. Chuka also said something similar. What I was trying to explain is that if you copy that stuff now, you can actually copy it. Yeah. The moment you copy it, check my screen. Just check my screen. You will see. Yeah. So now the moment you copy it, you can actually go to your notepad. Yeah, you can go to your notepad. This is it. Yeah. Control A, Control C. Then I can copy it inside notepad or copy it anywhere. Then I'll save it as .html. The moment I load it, I'm going to have something similar to this, right? But it doesn't mean, sorry, close this guy. I'm going to have something similar to this, but it doesn't mean that I am actually going to change it like on a global stage here. So now let's proceed. Let's continue. Having said that, let's move to the next aspect of like first thing you should do. So that I'm not going to like entertain any question until the next time for question and answer. Sorry about that, Mr. Akituli. So next thing, let me say it's like necessary to do at the very beginning once you're accessing a web page is to, there are tools like GoBuster, Traversal. Let me spell it out in the group. Traversal, Traversal. So I'm going to share my screen now, and then Traversal is actually automatically pre-installed in your Kali. So the moment you have your Kali, Traversal is there. Yeah. So you can check out my Kali, and we are going to use Traversal. It automatically comes with OWASP. It's like a OWASP tool. Okay, so check out my screen. So we have Kali, then Kali. Yep. Okay, so we have this. Sorry about this. I was just trying to use Dellbuster to check out one or two. Okay, so the Dellbuster, if you want to make use of it, like I said, it's already pre-installed, right? It's like a web application brute forcing tool. Now, what do they use it for most especially? They use it to, let me say, you want to look for hidden directories, hidden files that automatically they are not like accessible to normal users. What I mean by normal users is like you have a website, and on the website is not asking you to see these files like robot.txt, www.facebook/admin, all those kind of files or directories. Ordinarily, you're not allowed to see all those things. But now, Traversal is a tool that will help you to like run through all these files. Let me use the word brute force through all these files, like the hidden directories and files on the web server. And it's particularly used for penetration testing. It's not something you must go with. You don't know what it is, like you can actually go and check it out and check out how to use it. Most of all those pre-installed tools, all those CLI tools are tools that you know how to use. If you already know how to use command or you know how to use CLI, you should automatically know how to use CLI tools. They work hand in hand. Yeah. So they are used for penetration testing. They are used for different kind of assessment. If you want to like discover vulnerabilities or vulnerable area of files or directories and the likes of them. Yeah. So how do we use it? It's actually very simple. It's extremely simple. You just use the keyword there, right? Use the keyword, like take for example, you want to pen test a website. The website name is www.example.com. Let's say you want to pen test example.com. So just use like GoBuster -u. That's for the this thing. I know I shouldn't be saying this with my mouth, but the reason why I want to wrap up this. This is not like the major stuff. If we are actually meant to deal with this thing step by step, one after the other, everything we are going to spend beginning, we are going to spend morning till night here. So I just want to run through this tool. So you can just use GoBuster -u, that's for the URL. You press your URL, then your word list -w. You all know what hyphen is, all those hyphen something, they are called parameters or flags, anyhow how you want to put it. Then you put the location of your word list, right? So it's just that's how it works. So if you want to get other ways how it works, you can just use man GoBuster. Yeah, just use man GoBuster. Sorry. There are two things confusing me now. I want to know the one I even said at the very beginning. Traversal actually, and I was talking about GoBuster. So both of them are actually tools that you use them for the same purpose. I don't know. I was actually meant to be talking about Traversal, but it's the same thing. Everything I've said is actually the same thing. Both of them, you use them for the same purpose. Now I'll show you that the thing is actually is pre-installed. You don't need to install anything. So Traversal. Can you see it here? I'm sure everybody can see this DIRBUST here. So it's Traversal I was talking about, not GoBuster. But every other thing I've said is actually the same thing. It works for this. Right? You need to check out all the directories. From there, from there you can know like how to proceed. Now that's another first thing. Now, the last first thing I'll be saying is, I'll stop sharing my screen now. The last first thing or first set of activity I'll still not be talking about is the usage of scanning tools, right? Remember, there are two vital things. One is, how can you detect a vulnerability? Two, which is the most important one, is how can you exploit the vulnerability that has been detected? You can see. So it is one thing, if you can't pass these two tests, then it means you are not even like you are not like a cybersecurity professional. First thing, like I said, one, how can you detect? Take for example, somebody is sick. How can you tell that this person is sick? How can you do diagnosis for the person and tell that this is what this person is suffering from? Two, how can you exploit it? You are going to a house that is heavily guarded with, let me say, police or mopo. There is one particular guy that is actually sick. One particular soldier that is sick. He's mounting the kitchen gate, and you know that if you pass through that guy, you can overcome that guy, beat him. You know his weak point. You punch him in his, let me say, you give him uppercut in his chin. Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just signify by raising up your hand. You bring it up. You bring it down back. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, there was a network glitch. The moment I noticed the network glitch, I stopped talking here. So where did I stop? Yeah, I was giving the illustration of am I still? I was giving the illustration of a building. Yeah, building is the website in our case now. So you can put down your hands, everyone. Building is the website in our case now. Now, like I said, the first thing is, how do we detect the vulnerability? Now, let's use the website. The website is the building. Now, the building is heavily guarded. Like, there are protocols or set of rules placed to ensure that criminals don't enter or something. Now, we are not criminals in this sense, but we are going to be acting like criminals, right? So how can we detect that, okay, this particular place is the weak point? This particular door is being guarded by a sick man, is being guarded by a sick soldier. How do we detect? Right? Now you've gotten it. Now, how do you exploit it? Now, a very important tool that is used to detect is called ZAP, OWASP ZAP. And we've talked about it before. As a matter of fact, we've used it before. Not like use it, but then we've tried to play with it. Give me just 1 minute. I'm going to OWASP ZAP. Okay, like now, if you don't have your OWASP ZAP in your Kali, you can install it in your Kali. If you want to install it in your Windows, good and fine. You can install it in your Windows. There's no problem about that. For me, I have it in both my Kali, I have it in my Windows at the same time. So the one on my Windows is actually faster. Right, faster. Please give me 1 minute again. Okay, so sharing the screen now, you would see ZAP being loaded. Now, ZAP is like a scanning tool. What is a scanning tool? Basically, a tool that offers different kinds of web crawling activity. Like you can use it to crawl a website. You can use it to, like, I don't want to use the word pen test. You're not pen testing this time around. You just want to assess it. You want to, like, look at the way, use the illustration of the way a spider crawls on a wall. So you just want to, like, check out the website, check out different things. Like the example I gave earlier on that stopped sharing. I would share it again. Good. Now it's sharing. Like the example I gave earlier on, you want to attack a house, you need to, like, check every site and know what you are dealing with before you at least deal with it. So this our ZAP. Okay, let's close this one first. Now we go to automated scan. We just want to like what? We just want to like scan. If you remember very well, we've done something like this before. This is the URL to attack. I put the URL here. I'm sure you know that if you put, even if you don't write the, let's say, http / then example.com. If you don't want to use this one, you can as well use the IP address. Just put that http / then put the IP address there. Then you are good. Then what? You don't need to use, don't use Ajax, just attack. The moment you click on attack, you are going to see different things that has to do with the website. Now it's now your duty to calm down and analyze it. By the time the attack is done, it's going to start one spidering attack first. The moment it finishes that spidering attack, it's not going to do, it's going to start like crawling. It's going to crawl it first. Then before it's not going to do like an in-depth test. Now everything will be everything will be presented to you in the alert section. There's one they call like high priority, medium priority, and low priority. So I'm not testing anything. That's why I don't have like a practical example to show us. So under alert, you're going to see all those things. Now, why am I saying all those things? I'm saying it because we need to know where we are coming in from. It does not make any sense that you have a website, you want to test the website, and you don't know what you are even using. You don't know the first point of contact. You don't know how you are going to test the website. Take, for example, now I give you a website, and all of a sudden, you just start testing for SQL, or you're testing manually. Yes, some people do that. It's actually very, very cool and efficient. But then, one fast way of getting an insight as per the vulnerabilities involved is when you run like an automated scan. You can easily see areas whereby you can test. Do you get? Although beware of false positive and false negative. We've talked about that one before, like difference before positive and false negative. Machines like this can actually provide you with false positive results, false negative results also. That's why you need to know what you are doing, right? So after doing this, like I said, after this, you can download this to get yourself familiarized with it. Then the next thing that we are now going to talk about is the tools, the vulnerabilities involved. So right now we are going to be talking about the vulnerability, but we're going to be looking at it from the server side, right? From the server side. So let me stop sharing.